Hey, I want to take a moment today to address an email question that came in to me from a viewer recently. Mainly I want to address it because it pretty much mirrors the situation I just had. And, since it is all about me, since it does relate to me, I want to answer the question. I got this question from a viewer named Tommy B. I'm not going to say his full last name, but let's say he probably got called Tommy Booger a lot in school. He asked me about a gun he has that he's thinking about selling, and if I thought he should. He has a Colt King Cobra 4-inch stainless steel gun, and he's thinking about selling it and getting multiple more modern guns. And he knows that he's always been told in the gun community, never sell a gun. If you sell a gun, you'll regret it, especially a gun that you can't get again very easily, like a King Cobra or any other Colt revolver, although you might be able to get them easier soon, since Colt might start making them again. But as of right now, they're hard to get. So he's kind of torn. He's like, should I sell it? Should I not sell it? He said he's always liked the gun. Well, liking the gun makes it harder. If you like the gun, if it's your favorite gun, keep it, carry it, is what I would say. But if you really think you'd rather turn that into multiple other guns, I can see where you'd want to do that, and I would completely support you doing that. Don't fall into this mindset that a lot of people try to push on you in the gun community, that if you ever sell a gun, you'll regret it. I've sold literally hundreds of guns. And the only time I've ever really regretted it is if I sold a gun then for cheap and now it's worth a lot of money. That's about the only time I've ever regretted it. But I think your Colt is probably at the height of its value right now, so now would be the perfect time to sell it. So if you want to sell it, get 3 more modern guns, do it. Just like I said, I've never understood this whole never sell another gun, never sell any gun. Because why? Why would you buy a gun and then not like it and keep it just because you bought it? If you buy a gun and you don't like it, by all means, sell it and get another gun. This means you have a gun you like better eventually, hopefully, and it also means you get more experience with more guns. I like to have as much experience with as many guns as I possibly can. I don't go for this whole mindset of always train with one gun. I don't want to be able to shoot a gun. I want to be able to shoot a gun. So I like to have as much experience with as many different platforms and models as possible. So buy a gun. If you don't like it, you're not tied to it. Sell it. There's nothing magical about a gun. It's a tool. You can sell it, buy another one. I always do say if you sell one, buy another one. That's my main rule. Don't sell a gun to pay bills, something like that, unless you have to. If you have to, you have to. But don't just do it because, I won't miss this, because then you might miss it, because then you got less guns, etc. in the end. Then you never want to have less guns. But if you're just trading one for one, I say go for it. If there's something about that gun that makes you not want it anymore, even if you loved it, but now you're just tired of it and you want to experience something else, sell it, move on to the next gun. People say, well, you'll lose a lot of money that way. Really, you don't lose a lot, especially if you buy used. Even if you buy new, you don't lose a whole lot, but if you buy a gun at a good price used and then turn around and sell it, you'll lose nothing. And it's basically you used that gun for free for however long you had it. If you buy it new and sell it used, reasonably quickly, you'll probably lose like what? 5%, maybe $50, $60. Well, if you keep that gun for 2 months and you lose $60 on the sale, that's $60 for a 2-month rental of a handgun and all that experience you got with that handgun. Well worth it to me. And I said this all pertains to me, like him selling his Cobra, which I say sell that Cobra and get multiple guns, because 3 Smith & Wessons would be better and worth more than 1 Colt any day of the week. I think 1 Smith & Wesson is worth more than 1 Colt. I've never been the biggest fan of their revolvers. They make some finely tuned revolvers, but as far as general purpose, I just don't think they're as good as Smith & Wesson. So I say sell it, get the others. And I say this pertains to me because I had a really nice 6-inch Colt Anaconda that I have been keeping in the safe just because, I don't really want to get rid of it. Even though it's probably at its maximum value right now, it would be a great time to sell it. Didn't want to sell it. Well, because this gun was kind of a limited edition. It had a special number. It was a special order gun from Colt that a company made a long time ago that's here in the Northwest. And I ended up with one of the guns from one of the old owners of the company. Well, one of the other owners of the company has been trying to gather those guns back up, and he knew I had it because the FFL locally that knew I had it told him I had it, and he's been trying to get it from me for a while. But at that time, he had most of the guns, but not all of them. But well, now he's down to where he's got all of them except mine, and he sent me an email saying, hey, would you sell that gun? I'll give you top value for it. Now, top value for it would be about $2,800 to $3,000. And I was like, I would like to have $3,000 and I could spend that on a lot of guns, but I'll just hang on to it because it is kind of rare, even though I don't like it because it's a 6-inch barrel. Well, needless to say, after just a few more emails, he was basically saying, you know, I need this gun. I want this gun. I am not hurting for money, and he's not hurting for money. Trust me. I drove up in like $100,000 off-road vehicle. He said, what if I offer you this amount of money? And I'm not going to say exactly what it was, but let's just say I could have taken what he gave me, went over to the Kia lot across the street and bought a car, bought a new Kia for what he paid me for that gun. And I was able to turn around and sell that gun. So it doesn't make sense to me if I would keep that gun just because I don't want to sell a gun. I mean, if I can take this gun right here, and then I can magically have the gun fairy turn that gun into this, and then I can take this and turn it into this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Why would I not do that? It just doesn't make sense to me that I wouldn't do that. So in the end, I'll tell him, sell it, get you 2 or 3 really good modern guns. Just like I sold mine and got several new guns for it. And as far as I'm concerned, the several new guns I was able to buy and experience, especially the things I had never experienced before gun-wise, are well worth getting rid of that one gun that was valuable but didn't really mean anything to me. So don't fall into that mindset you can't sell a gun. Sell a gun if you want to sell a gun. If you don't like it or you're just tired with it, sell it, move on to something new, and get some more experience.